Hi, my name is Brooke Mavis, and this is my major research presentation over virtual museums and virtual field trips. So, first thing is, what is a virtual museum? Virtual museum is a collection of digitally recorded images, sound files, text documents, and other data of historical, scientific, or cultural interest that are accessed through electronic media. That is according to Encyclopedia Britannica. And they were first established in 1991. I included a picture of what a virtual museum might look like if you go to a website and were to do one. About virtual museums. So, virtual museums allow the audience to take a field trip without leaving the comfort of their home, work, or classroom. It's a great way to save time and money if they are a concern, because some classrooms or some schools don't really have the funds to allow their classrooms to go on field trips. So this is a great way to do it for free. And I just included another picture of kind of what it might look like if you're doing a virtual museum. What is a virtual field trip? A virtual field trip is a guided exploration through the web that organizes a collection of pre-screened, thematically based web pages into a structured online learning experience. Just like virtual museums, virtual field trips allow the audience to take a field trip without leaving the comfort of their home, work, or classroom. This also allows the audience to save time and money if it is a concern, just like virtual museums. The audience can make observations without actually being at the place that they're taking a field trip to. So it's an easy way to kind of feel like you're actually there when you're just looking at it on the internet. Types of virtual field trips. So there are many types of virtual field trips that you can take. A lot of people tend to just think that a virtual field trip is going to go to a museum. But you can actually go to museums, you can visit outer space through a virtual field trip, or you can even go to different continents and learn about different environments through virtual field trips. And the picture in this one is actually from the Smithsonian Museum, which is a really great virtual field trip to take if you want to take your classes. Benefits of virtual field trips. So one, they have customized curriculum, so they can be customized for the students and the instructional goals that the teacher has planned to meet. They have global connections, so it's an easy way to teach kids about the other side of the world, other parts of the world, what the environment is like there, and the history of other parts of the world without needing a passport through the experience of the classroom. And number three, I found online, this is all from scholastic.com, but that achievement goes up when virtual field trips are well integrated based on educational standards and tied tightly to the curriculum. Every child is attentive, engaged, and absorbed in what's happening, even those students who don't seem engaged in any other classroom activities. The kids these days really love technology, and this is an easy way to get them really involved in it. Things to consider before taking a virtual field trip or going to a virtual museum. One is technology. Do you have the appropriate technology to do a virtual field trip? So this could be computers, iPads, websites, etc. If you need a computer, then make sure you have one. Maybe if you want the kids to do a virtual field trip to different places, then each kid will need an iPad or a computer. Or if you want them to do group work, make sure that you have enough of those technology devices for the classes to use, and make sure they are all working so no kids are left behind in the experience. Number two to consider is curriculum. So does this field trip meet the curriculum that I'm teaching? So you want to make sure that your virtual field trip aligns with whatever curriculum that you are teaching at the moment and what objectives you want the kids to meet. And number three is the lesson. Is this field trip used to open a lesson? Is it used to close a lesson? Or is it used to go along or enrich with other information? So you really want to take the same amount of time that you would to do a normal field trip for a virtual field trip. You want to go in and you want to experience the field trip or the museum that you're going to have your kids do before you do it. That way you can maybe learn more about it and you'll be able to help them if they have questions. So you know what you're doing. Classroom application It can be applied to social studies and history, so virtual museums are a great way to teach about social studies curriculum and learn about the history. Um, they can be used to go to other places around the world to teach about history and social studies. So the picture I put on here is from a website where you can visit the 7 wonders of the world and take a virtual field trip to those 7 wonders of the world, which I thought was really awesome. Another classroom application is you can apply it to science. So virtual tours through space could be used to teach about the solar system, and virtual tours through the deserts and grasslands of Africa or deep in the ocean could be used to teach about science, which I think is awesome that we have that kind of technology to use it like that and learn about the ocean and other environments and even the solar system. So one website I found that I really enjoyed was called Google Lit Trips. And how this works is basically it offers downloadable files that follow the journeys of characters from famous literature by using the power of maps from Google Earth. So it works in correlation with books and correlation with Google Earth. It allows the students to participate in stories in three-dimensional way instead of just reading the text and trying to create the scene in their head. They actually get to see this, read about the scene, and then they get to go visit the place that the scene deals with. This website also offers additional resources and links to information about references in the work. It does require a one-time initial registration, but it's not expensive. And then here's a video I found just to get an overview of what it would look like.
Google Lit Trips brings together the wisdom of our global literary heritage and the 21st century resources available in Google Earth, creating an environment within which readers virtually travel alongside the story's characters. The experience is enhanced by pop-up windows providing a wide range of supplementary information, such as this link to additional information about the story's author. As readers travel along with the story's characters, they find themselves seeing the setting almost as though they were there. They see, as in this example from the Kite Runner, the Bol Chateau, where the main characters reveal much about their relationship as defined by Afghan tradition. The pop-up windows generally include some combination of the following engaging content. Images, video, and/or audio clips relating to the storyline. Specific references from the story touching upon significant themes being developed. And rather than including plot summaries that might provide incentives for some readers to circumvent actually reading the story, higher-level engaging discussion starters designed to help readers discover connections between the world they know and the world within which the story is set are provided. The pop-up windows also frequently include supplementary links that take readers beyond the story. For example, in this scene, the two young boys spend some time enjoying the traditional Afghan humor of Mullah Nasruddin jokes. Readers can click this link to take a side trip to read more Mullah Nasruddin jokes, discovering that humor of this sort is enjoyed in many cultures. The boys also share their enjoyment of one of Afghanistan's most famous legends, the heroic story of Rostam and Sohrab. This link takes readers to an online version of the entire Rostam and Sohrab story, which comes to play a continuing and central role in the story's thematic development. As students continue their reading, they become not just students, but fellow travelers, discovering the great similarities as well as the unique qualities of the characters from cultures beyond their own. Google Lit Trips. It's a whole new way to read great literature.
So that was just an example of what Google Lit Trips would be like in the classroom, which I thought was a great example of a virtual field trip. Sorry. Another great example, I know it's on a website, but I found some apps that I thought would be great maybe if you have the older elementary grades that have phones, maybe they could use their phones, which I'm sure they would love to do. And if you have iPads, I know at my school, some of the classrooms have iPads that you could download apps to. So one great app is by NASA. It's called the Earth Now app. Right here is an example of what it would look like with the phones, kind of what the app looks like. This visualizes recent global climate data, including the surface air temperature, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, ozone layers, water vapor, gravity, and sea level variations, which would be really cool for the students to get a 3D view of the Earth and be able to rotate it and zoom in and things. Another great app is called Expeditions, which is what the flag symbol is. On the picture, this lets you go to virtual reality trips through your phone, exploring historical landmarks, the ocean, or space. And then, of course, Google Earth is another great app that the students can use to download and use to visit historical places and see kind of what it looks like and learn a little bit about the history. So my thoughts on virtual museums and virtual field trips is, one, they're a great way to go on a field trip that you normally would not be able to go on due to maybe finances or those disabled students that it would be difficult for them to go to a field trip. They can go to this one and be interested and engaged. Also for those students that maybe would find an actual museum boring, but they would love to go on a website and be able to maneuver and go through the website on their own and keep those students engaged. So the second one, the students love technology. It's a great way to get them involved. Like I said before, they are always on their phones and they love being on their phones and technology. So it's a great way to get those kids that love technology involved and engaged in the lesson. And overall, it's a great tool for teachers to go on field trips without having to leave the classroom. So, thank you.